So, alright guys, this is Igor in Russia, and in this video we get an excellent opportunity to talk with Dima from Russia, a Russian YouTuber who has also escaped from being mobilized to another country. We're going to hear about his thoughts, his experiences. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to this channel. I'm Igor in Russia. I make videos with a Western perspective about Russia and especially my most beloved city, St. Petersburg. And also, if you like the content, also to Dima's YouTube channel. So let's go. All right, Dima, hi man, how you doing?
Hello Igor, doing fine, but still a little bit nervous being outside Russia.
I've seen a lot of videos from you, and you started your journey. Before we get into this whole thing, maybe you could present yourself. Who are you? What's your connection to I know you're from St. Petersburg. Tell us about yourself a little bit.
I born in Russia, in a small town of Russia, in another region, not in St. Petersburg. So I moved in St. Petersburg in 2014 and studying in University of St. Petersburg. And after I finished my education, I decided to stay in St. Petersburg because I really love that city. I love the architecture. I love the European style. A lot of different people, students from other countries too. So it's international city, and I was living in St. Petersburg since 2014, and that decision to leave my very lovely city where I am, spent a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Get used to to all the environment there. I got the friends, and so it was not so easy to fly away.
Make that decision.
But I'm still in contact with my friends from St. Petersburg. My relatives, they moved from my little town to St. Petersburg, so they sold the apartment on that little town a few years ago and moved to St. Petersburg too, closer to me. And they had plans to move my sister here in St. Petersburg. So it was really great plans. To stay in St. Petersburg and spend there, a lot of time. And I never imagined that I will go somewhere in a different country, because I had a plan. I had a plan to travel sometime, to go somewhere for 1 month, for 2 months, in a few maybe countries, or maybe one country, and stay there, try to live in abroad, try to feel the different culture, and but I didn't think that will happen so soon and so unexpected. So that was not so easy decision, but I didn't see the different choice. So that was just for my safety.
Before we get into that decision making and those events that led you to leave, you started YouTube channel, and so how did you decide on becoming a YouTuber, and what is your actual goal on making YouTube? I decided to make. I always personally I wanted to make videos for a longer time, and one day in 2019 I grabbed. I was traveling to St. Petersburg for a little bit longer. I always wanted to see Victory Day in Russia, of course Moscow, but since I fell in love with St. Petersburg, I wanted to see it in St. Petersburg, and that was my first time to see it. And this whole week I started my YouTube channel on that note. And but what about you? When did you start? Why? And what's your goal?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not only English-speaking YouTuber, so this is not my first channel. I was making videos since 2020. I started my channel about finances, about kind of investments. I'm not an expert, but I started my journey in that niche, in that topic, and I was studying and sharing my thoughts, how my point of view on some things. And I started my YouTube channel in 2020, and it was slowly growing because I was not so I didn't have much experience of talking to the camera, talking to the audience, that setup, video setup. Now I have a lot of gear for making videos, microphones, cameras, and that stuff. But those times, that was very interesting for me to deep dive into that process. And I was slowly growing that channel, and after that in 2022 in February, the whole my whole channel was unmonetized, and the topic I was talking, it was ruined because Russian economy started suffering a lot, and of course someone can say it's a lot of opportunities to some companies closing their business in Russia, some a lot of difficulties we see as regular people. But on the other hand, it's a lot of difficulties you can't solve just from the scratch. It will take a time. And I was so sad about that because I was hoping that channel will grow, and I will start making a bit more money, because monetization on YouTube on that channel, that was not so big, so it was not so big money. Mostly I was earning using that referral links for ordering banking cards and something.
Oh yeah,
like that. Yeah. And it was like kind of hobby, and hobby which can make you you can receive from that hobby a little bit
revenue.
money. Yeah. And I was really hoping for that process, and at the same time I was making videos for another YouTubers and YouTube channels. So this is
like editing work or
editing and filming, mostly filming.
Is it a secret? Are they known YouTubers?
Yeah.
Is it a secret to who you work with?
I was working with not so big YouTubers. It was only small channels and small businesses. One client, one of the big clients I was working, that was a woman from Moscow, and she has her museum with retro, rare audio technique. So it's vintage technique. So it was very interesting for me because I never interested in such topic. And when I came for the first time to her museum in Moscow, that was very interesting to talk with her, just talk before we start the video process. And yeah, she was one of the biggest my clients. And Elsa, I want to say that she called me on last week, and she said how I'm doing. She asked me like, am I still in Russia or I'm moved somewhere, and she offered me a job for editing her videos if it will be if I have a need to to earn some money, she can give me a job, and that was very kind from her side. So I was trying to make that grow in my hobby, my channel, my kind of personal brand, and making videos for others. And after that, I started thinking maybe I should improve my English skills, because I was always interested in not making a channel on English, but just practicing my English. And I decided that will be very good opportunity to improve my English skills and talk to foreigners, because it's a native speakers. It's always better when you communicate with someone from Russia who's visiting with you some English club, maybe free, maybe for money, but it's not the same when you're talking on English with someone from Russia who like as you. Those people were trying to speak, and both of you making a lot of mistakes, and only one people in the room, native speaker and teacher, he can tell you about that mistakes. And I decided make that English YouTube channel. Talking about a goal, the first one is improving my English skills, because it's a good practice. I'm start making a lot of live streams, and after I start YouTube channel, I thought it can bring me some money, because the views from foreign countries, not from Russia, it can bring you some revenue, because if you're in Russia and if you filming on Russian, you can't get any payment from YouTube and Google. Of course, from other countries like Kazakhstan, maybe Ukraine, I'm not sure, Belarus, if people from these countries they're watching you, you can get some money from their views, but it's not so big market, so it's very, very tiny countries, not big amount of people there.
Yeah, I can relate because I started making in Finnish, and Finland is a small country with even smaller interest in Russia, or very it's only like how do you say it? Very narrow interest. It's always about some few negative things. And I started with Finnish, and I slowly transferred to English, trying to get a bigger audience. But my goals are, I could say, a bit more noble than yours. I want to, not disrespecting, but I want to close the gap between the cultures, between the West and the Russian, add understanding and that type of thing. Because as a Soviet person living in Finland with Finnish roots, I always understood Russian people. I understand the mentality and the stuff before the situation, even the stuff they think about Russia, or it's always very narrow. Well, they don't understand what Russians mean, and so many things is so to speak lost in lost in translation, so to speak, because there's no understanding of the cultural differences. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to do, and this situation also has influenced me a lot. Just 2 years after making the YouTube videos, I started actually collaborating with the big organizations and creating marketing videos for them, because I'm also in marketing. So I started doing that, and all of that stopped, of course, on the 24th, basically, and. But still, even though I continue with my positive vibe on my channel, it has affected me actually very much, because I have also goals. I want to become successful in this field. All right, so thanks a lot, Dima, for this discussion interview and sharing your thoughts. It makes you think about a lot of things. So thanks for being here and just being you.
Thank you for having me, Igor. Thank you.
I advise you to subscribe to Dima from Russia YouTube channel, link in description. And also, if you like my content, of course, subscribe to that too. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you in the next episode.